if you guys can just introduce yourselves to everyone and explain what you did in the film.
Hey everybody, my name is Nick Cancellieri. I played Scarecrow / Johnny Crane.
My name is Celia Werner. I was the producer for Batman Patient Zero.
What's up, guys? I'm Serge Ashraf. I was one of the goons.
Hi guys, thanks for coming out and checking this out. My name is Andrew Ackler. I'm the writer, director, and composer for the film.
Hey guys, oh, it doesn't reach. I'm Sarah Grace Sanders. I played Harley Quinn and Dr. Harleen Quinzel.
Yeah, so
Get cozy.
My name's Nicole, and I was the makeup artist and hairstylist, and Pam Isley.
Okay, so basically, where does an idea like this come from? Where does the idea for this short come from?
well, this I've always been fascinated with psychology, and I love Batman. He's one of my favorite superheroes. I've had this idea for a while, where, in research that I've done, I've learned that each of the villains, including Bruce himself, exhibits different types of, mental illness, different kinds of just issues that are there. Like Riddler has OCD, Bruce has that to an extent as well, wanting to dress up like a bat every single night and fight crime. And each one of the villains represents a different trope of mental illness, and Bruce actually shares every single one of them. Where the villains might have one or two, maybe three, Bruce has every single one of them. So I decided to take this idea and say, well, what if we push that a little bit further for a child such as Bruce to lose his parents at a traumatic moment. It could really push someone over the edge. So it's like a what if of what would have happened if he didn't get control of that and manifest that into actually going out and dressing up as a bat and bringing criminals to justice. This is the alternative as to a person broken down mentally and physically even by this traumatic event, going crazy and being put into Arkham Asylum, and just it's so bad that he sees and projects these fears and these issues onto the people around him. So the doctors become Harley Quinn, and Dr. Kerr becomes the Joker, and Dr. Crane becomes the Scarecrow, for things they all represent. The psychiatrist, the nurse in this version, kind of the nurse, just different things like that. So it was like a what if scenario that I've had in my mind for a very long time, and I pitched it to Celia. I'm like, hey, how crazy is this if we do this? She was like, well, you're nuts, but let's try it. And that's what we got. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So Batman's been done a few times. What is it exactly that made you really want to make this really different as a film? Because this film ended up being really great. It actually, there's a little trophy there. It won Best Short for our festival. That's where you go.
Thanks, guys.
So what exactly, and this is a question to everyone, what exactly was being put in here to make it really different the way it was?
Well, off the cuff, we wanted to do something different stylistically than what you've seen in The Dark Knight, and even the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher films, and even now recently with Zack Snyder's DC universe. We didn't want to copy anything that you've seen. I love Heath Ledger's Joker, but as much as I do, I just didn't want to represent that again. We've seen that. So I figured if we're going to tell this story, I felt it's unique with the twist at the end when you realize, oh, snap, he's actually a patient. This isn't real. I wanted to do it in a way that, because it is a what-if scenario, you get different versions of the characters. So all the costumes were very different, all original designs that Nicole and I worked on with our costume supervisor as well.
We had some cosplayers help out.
We had cosplayers help out as well, that's right. And so we just wanted to represent it visually where you haven't seen these styles before. And we figured it's different in story, let's go different in style too.
So, when Andrew and I have known each other since high school,
Yeah.
for a very long time. And when he approached me about it, he asked if I would want to do it, knowing that I love comics, and I was like, yes, of course I want to.
What kind of a question is this?
And he's like, by the way, would you also want to play Pam? I was like, yeah, of course I would. But he told me the concept of it over the phone, it was like this quick phone call, and he told me that he wanted it to be completely different and sent over the script to me. And then he told me to basically, which is like a great thing in film or any kind of creative field is being given the freedom to do what you want to do, or feeling like it's a collaborative effort rather than a director telling you like, this is how I want the characters to look. But luckily Andrew gave me enough trust to help out with that.
I mean, people, everyone here, you're here at a con, and a lot of people here, they do cosplay, and they do kind of their own versions of the character, and that's, in essence, what we tried to do with this too, because if we give you a version that you've seen, it's like, oh, cool, I've seen this, but, for a film, you definitely want to captivate the audience visually with, wow, that's kind of different, and like we knew,
visually
do something
and,
fresh,
and the score.
Oh, the score as well, yeah. So like a buddy of mine, Christian, he and I worked on the score together, and I don't know if you there are some nods to each one of the Batman universe film scores. So we took just a little bit from Tim Burton's scores. We took from a little bit from took inspiration, yeah, and we used similar. No, we didn't use any of the same music, but we composed around orchestration, improvisation around what they've given us in the past. So you've heard a little bit of Hans Zimmer's score in there, but it's all original music that is done in styles that make you remember, oh yeah, I've heard something like this. You kind of reconnect with it musically as well.
We had a question from the audience.
Oh yes.
How long did it take to film?
Well, Andrew pitched this idea to me July of 2015. We actually started working on production around January of 2016. And we shot in May of 2016. We actually released this online at the beginning of October, so it was actually pretty quick to get this all done. But it was kind of like a crazy storm of like, okay, we need to get this done. Okay, we need to get that done. All right, we need to make sure this costume looks perfect. And we did casting, rehearsals, everything, and it came together like pretty quickly for all things included.
A project like this.
Yeah,
the actual filming was 2 weekends split up into 6 days, and so
overnight.
6 days, overnights.
We watched the sun come up.
We did. We watched it set and then come back up, and we're like, all right, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we went into the building with Batman to take a couple of promo pictures, and we walked back outside, and the sun was up, and we were just like, oh.
Whoops.
All right, well, I guess it's time to go home and go to sleep now.
Did anybody ever get hurt?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, they did. You can speak to that, Mr.
Well,
Goon
first of
guy.
all, the actors all did all of their own stunts.
They did. That's correct.
So there were no stunt people. Everyone came in as they tried out as actors. We didn't hire any stunt people, so they had to learn all of that choreography that you see by themselves. They had to work with all of their partners and actually work out, okay, you're gonna move this way, I have to move that way, just so I don't hit you in the face. But I'll let you take
anyway.
it from there.
But I mean, most of us come from martial arts backgrounds, so it was pretty much
some of you.
right.
Maybe.
Well,
The day of my fight, the corset that I wore
Oh boy.
busted open, the zipper in the front. So we were delayed about an hour. The wardrobe department was safety pinning me into the corset because I had my big fight scene that night and we couldn't push it back. So a couple of times during the fight, I'm like, oh, I think there's a safety pin in my stomach right now. Let's get that out and repatch it up. So that was pretty crazy.
So it wasn't just physical, the fighting that, I'm blind, wow, whew.
Whoops, sorry.
But it wasn't just the physical fighting that got people hurt, stuff like that with the safety pin. Johnny, who played Batman, was just a free spirit. He didn't care. He was like, hey, I'm playing Batman, we're going to do this all the way to the end. I don't care if I'm a pile of ash after this. We're good to go.
He was like, oh, I don't even need a break, let's just go.
Yeah, it's amazing. He really is Batman.
With all of the choreography, we had some great choreographers from New York City. They came in and they worked with the actors to get this down perfect. We did rehearsals and
a month
worth of rehearsals. And one of the things that Grace, who was our lead choreographer, said is, well, let me backtrack. Like I said, not all of our actors came in with fighting experience.
Right.
She said, I would rather have someone who's passionate about the project and wants to throw themselves in than someone that has been doing a fighting style for years and years and years, because they're going to be the ones that put the extra effort in to get everything right. And well, you literally threw yourself in.
I spent more time on the ground while filming this than standing up. When I auditioned, after the scene that I auditioned with, Grace, the choreographer, just stood up and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna clothesline you now." I was like, "Huh?" So she was like, "Let me see you literally just jump in the air and fall." And I was like, "Okay." And meanwhile, Celia's like, "Do it, kill him." so that was.
Not
not
really.
that harsh.
I'm not.
That was. No, I'm pretty sure she said exactly that.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
We'll look back on the tapes later.
No, I'm just kidding. But that was fun. I mean, I like throwing myself around. Maybe I'm just a weirdo, but like it was a lot of fun to like.
Maybe.
It was a lot of fun to learn that choreography, because it's not something that, it's not every day that I put on a mask and go get my ass kicked. So.
You sure?
And you're
Yeah.
slap.
I think so. Oh yeah, and I got to bitch slap Batman. So
That's true, yeah.
That was fun.
That was the only hit landed on Batman that was a mistake, and it worked. No one hits Batman. Yes.
How'd you get the set? Because that production value was insane.
Oh, thank you. So, like I said, I live in Queens, in Forest Hills, and there is, on Long Island, further out, there's a place called Kings Park Mental Facility, and it's an abandoned facility that they don't let people go into, and we use that as the exterior, which looked perfect for Arkham. But they would not let us inside. The building had been condemned for many years, so we ended up going to another actual regular hospital near my house that has been closed since 2009. And they just abandoned the hospital, so they left the gurneys, they left files, they left all the furniture in there,
Chemicals.
medication, chemical stuff that was just
It looked like
gross.
everyone working there just disappeared one day.
yeah,
It
and
was
was
crazy.
perfect. The building was not condemned, and I spoke with the groundskeeper, and my high school shot some films there before. So I mentioned, "Oh yeah, Forest Hills High School, we shot here." He was like, "Yeah, go right inside." And we're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, go ahead, bring your stuff in. How long do you need?" We're like, 2 weeks, probably a little less." He's like, "Yeah, sure." All right, so we went in, and we most of the place was already ready to go. The scene in the stairwell where it said "Don't go up," and of course Batman, he doesn't listen, he doesn't care. He went up anyway. That was there. That was just right there in the hospital, and we're like, "Hey."
The only one that was already there.
That was the only one that was already there, yeah. All the other graffiti we had put up ourselves. Our production designer, Marcus, and his team of art people were just fantastic, and they decked this place out.
Yeah.
That giant grin, that's still there. All the too late and stuff. So we made it look, really nice, and the place worked very well to our advantage of looking old, decrepit, the paint was peeling. Perfect.
Maybe a little too well.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It was a little creepy. There were a few people on crew that were just like,
Feeling
I
some
have a bad
presences
feeling
and-
here.
yeah.
There's definitely a presence. I have to sit
yeah.
outside for a little bit, which is understandable because obviously this was a closed down place. Like all the windows were boarded up. It's very dark. You need to make sure that you have time inside, but you have time outside. One of the things I worked on the promotions as well. So we went around and we explored the hospital and looked for creepy places to shoot pictures. So one of the places was actually the pharmacy. So we brought Scarecrow / Jonathan Crane to the pharmacy, and we were looking around. We were like, what can we use to make the promo videos look really legit? And you almost grabbed a bottle of hydrochloric acid.
I almost grabbed a cracked glass bottle of hydrochloric acid.
Yep.
Which was
That was still full.
Yeah.
That place
That
was
could have
crazy.
been like the bottles for some of them were like starting to like corrode away. I was like, Nick, do not touch that one.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, okay.
Yep. during the take, that mask I could not see out of it. So it was during the take I was reaching forward and then I read hydrochloric acid. So if you watch the promo, you could see me going something else.
Yeah, this is actually on our Facebook page, so you can watch him almost burn his hand off, like
Yeah.
on
And
Facebook.
it's great because the place has been closed and the property's still there. It's not condemned. They're going to turn it into an old folks' home. So and they did start the construction. They were taking away some of the graffiti already. So we just missed the cusp, of not being able to shoot in this place. So we got very, very lucky with the timing on that. It's just great.
Yeah.
Someone had a question? Yes, you.
How big was your crew?
I mean, was it basic cinematographer, director, sound? Or?
Oh no.
Our crew was cast and crew was just under 60 people. So we got 60 people to donate their time, their skills, their effort.
We actually shot 2 units. So 2 cameras on the first weekend, and one of the days from the second weekend we had 2 cameras, and then the other 2 days we had the 1.
Yeah.
So we did, which really helped the fights move along, because when you're filming fights and you're going take for take, you get multi angles, which is great. It gave us a lot of play on the cutting room floor when we can just decide, hey, this is great, and you have great angles to choose from, multiple sides. It really worked to our advantage.
Your goals, this is phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you very
What
much.
are you going to do with it in 2017? What are your goals? You know?
So we submitted to, so far, I think 6 different festivals that are either just fan film awards ceremonies and just celebrating fan films, and also some of them are attached to Comic-Cons like this one, which is great. So we really want to get the film out there and continue doing that, and hopefully to get to either San Diego or New York City Comic-Con and have this at a panel there. So people can get to watch it and, get to meet all the people from Marvel and DC and say, hey, if you need any emerging filmmakers and actors, here we are. So, because, my passion has been film and music for film, and I just, making a Batman movie was great, and it's for the fans, really, because, like, this is a story that fans could really appreciate, I think. Right? Maybe? Yeah? All right. And so, just to be able to share it with the fans at cons like this and at fan film festivals and online and at home.
We have it up online on Facebook and on YouTube. We've had those promotions. We're just trying to connect with other fans. We're such big, obviously, fans of Batman as a world, and we want to bring that world to all of our viewers.
Yeah, and it's not just with comics. We make other films too, serious films, dramas, comedies. And, we take the same approach to all of those as we do with this. It's the same passion. We want to just tell unique, incredible, inspiring stories for the world to just enjoy. So whether it's Batman, whether it's Superman, Spider-Man, or just something brand new, that's what we want to bring to the world.
In his hand for...
Special licensing or anything?
Surprisingly, no. When I first submitted the script, it went to a place called Fan Fiction Film Festival NYC. They also have one in LA. And I was living in LA at the time, and I got an email from them actually, and they said, hey, your script won first place. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So the guy had told me that the first place prize was a table read with some prominent actors and stuff, and someone who was at the table read, I forget exactly who, emailed me, one of the directors for the table read, and said, hey, I know some people over at Warner Brothers who might really think this is kind of cool. And he sent them the script, and they wrote back to me and said, yeah, if you're planning on making this, that's cool. We encourage fans to make fan films. Go right ahead. And they gave me a couple of guidelines that I had to adhere to with representation of the characters and just distribution. And we can't pay anyone
that's involved with the actual
so like you
creation.
can't really make money portraying Batman. If Warner Brothers is not doing it, you can't do it. So we had to be very careful with that. We couldn't market it for money. And that wasn't our goal anyway. It was marketing for fans, so just for fun, for free. So, but yeah, they were very lenient with it, and I haven't heard from them yet. But hopefully someone from Warner Brothers takes a look at this, either online or at one of the cons, and says, hey, nice. So
I
that's
actually have
part
a
of one of the
question
goals.
for our actors.
Ooh.
What was one of the ways that you created your characters? So the 3 of you. I think that's interesting. Do you guys think that's interesting?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start, Dave?
Sure. Well.
Put you on the spot right here.
Okay.
I think you'd rather be on the ground again.
I mean, we could flip them over.
Would
to
you
the
be more
table again.
comfortable?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Face down. Well, for Scarecrow, I have seen a few. I haven't really seen all that many renditions of Scarecrow. Scarecrow's not really one of those villains like the Joker in the Batman universe that always get like a ton of different portrayals. So I looked at a few different portrayals of Scarecrow just to see what kind of has already been done and try to figure out the direction that I wanted to take it. And all the actors had meetings with like Andrew, and we were just kind of talking about where we wanted to, like what direction we wanted to go with everything. And first for Scarecrow, I really kind of wanted, Andrew and I talked, and something that we were both interested in doing was kind of making him more, much more kind of like serpentine than you usually kind of see him, because Scarecrow is a psychological person. He has no brawn really, which I guess is why I spent all my time on the ground. But like, so Scarecrow is like all in your head, and that really kind of fascinates me. And so one of the things that Andrew and I tried to work on a lot was the voice for Scarecrow. And the voice was something that at first I was afraid would sound too Christian Bale Batman-y, but then it was just, I think it just kind of, with everything else, I just wanted to take it more in a direction of being just kind of like, preying upon somebody's mind, as opposed to making him like a physical threat. Like, the creepy, like the costume, when I first put the costume on, it kind of like took what I had already wanted with it, and I was like, okay, so I made like a couple of tweaks, but ultimately I think Andrew and I were kind of like on the same wavelength about where we ultimately wanted Scarecrow to go, and that was more of just like a psychological tormenting type of guy.
For me as a goon, though, it was always my passion to see if I could fight Batman and beat him up, actually. So it was a lot of fun, and a lot of inspiration came from just the scenes itself and practicing. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what helped me stay in character for that part.
You did get a good hit. You hit him across, like, onto the wall.
Yeah, when I headbutted him.
That nice
felt
headbutt
good.
at the end. Yeah, so you did, in fact. This is the man who beat Batman. Yeah.
So that was pretty much it.
Harley? Well, for Harley, see, we have a couple Harley fans in the room. It was interesting for me because there had never been a live action Harley before. So I really didn't have too much to go on. I also knew Suicide Squad was coming out later this year. She was going to blow up as a character, so I really wanted to do her justice for her as a character and for the fans who know her and love her. I play a lot of psychopathic characters anyway, so I kind of already had that going for me. I'd played Black Canary before, so I'd done fight choreography and stunts. And then just for research, I watched a lot of the cartoons, the animated Harley Quinn, and also the one thing I really enjoyed watching was the Arkham Asylum video games. Yeah. So I would just, pull up clips on YouTube, watch those for hours, kind of modeled my voice after that. And I just really love how, she's a badass, but she's also playful and sassy, and she probably has this weird crush on Batman, but then there's the Joker. So it's she's a very complicated character, but it was really, really fun to play.
We scrapped all of the audio, so all of the voices are ADR'd, all of the sounds are like people inside of a studio going like, and like making footsteps and
hitting celery against the wall for like, bone-breaking punch sounds. And our ADR team and our post-sound team did a great job. They reconstructed the whole soundscape from complete scratch. And they had very little to work with, honestly. They just, we were very quiet on set. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, no, the hardest part, I think the hardest part for me was the ADR. Because we wrapped in May. Yeah. I went to Africa for a month. I come back and I'm doing ADR for this film, and I've been out of the character for so long. And you're just in a room by yourself with the footage and having to recreate the fight scenes and
all like the grunts and stuff when people are swinging, going, that's all afterwards. We don't do that on set. It was just great. It was really cool.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks, you guys. That's just about the end of our time.
Oh.
But I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Get out of here.
Well, you guys can find us online. You can search Batman Patient Zero.
The voting.
Oh, we actually are up for what's it called? The Fan Film
So
Festival?
in February, we're going to another festival called the Fan Film Festival 2017. It takes place in Los Angeles, in Pasadena, actually. So not Los. Well, yeah. Anyway, so they're holding votes for people online. Fans can go on. You can find us on Facebook, our Batman Patient Zero page on Facebook, and click the box to vote for your favorite fan film. And there's different categories for choreography, for actress, actor, best fan representation, stuff like that. And you could definitely go and vote, and we'd really appreciate that. If you like the film, want to see it go forward, that'd be great. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you guys so much.
Good job, man.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Great, man.